Heat up your frozen dinners, grab your TV tray, and settle in for another episode of the Plus Platoon, your podcast for all things Disney Plus, brought to you by Disney Plus fans. Watch along with us every week as we cover all the new, the old, the good, and the bad on Disney Plus. So put down that remote, don't touch that dial, and welcome your fabulous Plus Platoon host.
Hey everyone, I'm Derek, and I'm one of the members of the Plus Platoon. We're a Disney Plus fan podcast that gives honest, spoiler-filled reviews of movies and shows on Disney Plus. We look at new releases, coming attractions, and we'll even go back into the vault to revisit some of the classic Disney that's on the platform. Make sure you're subscribed, and you will never miss a moment. I am going to bring in my sis, Kate. Kate, how you doing this evening?
I'm so good, Derek. How are you?
Doing not bad. Doing a lot better if I didn't hit my head on my microphone. So,
Oh, no.
Next, we have got Peter. Pete, how you doing?
Hey, Derek. So sorry to hear about those Chiefs.
Yeah, well, they kind of deserve to lose. Actually, no, they really deserve to lose after that second half. So, next, we have got tonight Sam. Sam, how's it going?
Good. How are you all doing?
Doing very well. I'm great. We've got a snow day tomorrow. So,
Oh,
And you found out before
isn't that? That's
they
the
called it
best.
at like 2 in the afternoon. It was amazing.
Wow.
That's the best.
And they're not making you
Uh-huh.
like go virtual or anything for the day.
Not this year. This year is actually going to be a true snow day, mainly
Wow.
because last year we did all virtual ones, but this year they haven't trained any of the new teachers on how to do the virtual
So
classes.
it's just not set
So
up for it.
it's not set up for it. So shucks, I'm going to have to take the day off. And my wife's home on a scheduled day off tomorrow, and my son's got the day off tomorrow. So it's going to be a great day.
Wonderful.
And we're expecting
Aw.
6 inches of blowing snow at 40 miles an hour. So
Ooh,
going to be a lot of fun.
sounds like a really good day for watching some Disney Plus.
It
Yeah.
does sound like an excellent day. And guys, this is a big milestone episode. As Steve says, this is 50 shows, guys. This is
Oh my
50.
goodness.
Yeah, I know. It seems like, just yesterday it was, 49. No,
It was just last week, Derek,
it was just
right?
last week.
50 Tuesdays and Wednesdays with you jokers.
Yep, Tuesdays,
Seriously.
Wednesdays.
Really?
And that does include a few special shows in there. We'll actually have our
Right?
anniversary show. For our anniversary show, we've got a special surprise for you guys coming up. Going to be a lot of trouble on our anniversary show.
I
Too
know.
much trouble.
I'm excited.
Yeah. And as Ryan says, straight lucking out in the blizzard. It's proof God loves teachers is the snow days.
Apparently, God
So-
doesn't love lawyers.
Wop, wop.
Oh,
Or engineers.
we're not going to go there. So anyway,
Or Floridians.
Or Floridians.
No,
for
he
sure.
Oh, yeah, you have a lot of snow days, don't you?
a
Yeah,
lot of
right. We
snow
have
days.
hurricane days.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
you remember you live on the face of hell. I mean, in the
The actual
summer.
gates of hell. Anyway.
So anyway, speaking of which, Kate, what's the Disney Plus? No.
Oh my gosh. Let's
Disney
go to the
we got a
Disney
lot of it.
Plus news. I'm not muted, right? Nope, I'm not. Okay. First of all, huge news. I am so excited about this. Big news from Disney this week. We Don't Talk About Bruno from Encanto has reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. The only other song from a Disney animated film to hit #1 was A Whole New World from 1993's Aladdin. The Encanto soundtrack has also spent 3 weeks as a #1 on the Billboard 200 albums chart. Super exciting. #2, Elizabeth Mitchell will be reprising her role as Mrs. Claus in the upcoming Disney Plus Santa Claus series. Moving right along, it was announced that Hocus Pocus 2 will be released on or about or around Halloween this fall. The movie wrapped shooting earlier this week. In the past week, many ESPN films have been added to the service. This includes the 30 for 30 series that tell the behind-the-scenes stories from within sports. very exciting to all you sports fans out there. All right. The Korean drama Snowdrop is premiering on Disney Plus February 9th. The series focuses on the relationship between a South Korean college student and a North Korean spy in the 1980s and the trouble that will follow. This series was one of the top 5 shows in the Asia Pacific Disney Plus market. Ooh, say that 7 times fast. And last but certainly not least, Loki season 2 is going to begin filming this summer. While it is unknown if writer Michael Waldron will still be involved, the series will have a new director as Kate Herron is involved in other projects. Tom Hiddleston is confirmed to return to his title role, but none of the other major characters have confirmed that they are returning. So now, Derek, about that first one, did Let It Go not hit number 1?
Number 5. Let It Go got to number 5.
Wow.
I
And
have to say, you guys, even though Encanto was not my favorite movie, I have been playing that damn soundtrack on repeat in my car, in my house. I can't get enough of it. And
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
I know, and my kiddo literally plays Surface Pressure on loop.
And I was going to say, that's the next one. It is shooting up the charts. Surface
that
Pressure.
One is my favorite.
So.
I think
is that the one that the strong girl sings?
Yes, Louisa. So I think Bruno is a fantastic song, but I think Surface Pressure is even better. They're both amazing, though.
Yeah. So lots of fun Disney Plus news. Now, before we get into our first show, let me acknowledge that, yes, there was a new Ice Age movie that came out this week. And while we have said we look at the good and the bad, even we have standards. So we are not going to be reviewing the new Ice Age movie. So, I mean,
we can only cover so much. We can't cover everything on the platform. Yeah. We've got to pick and choose. And sometimes we have to not choose things that we really don't think we'll like.
Right. We review the good and the bad, but we don't review anything that we all know going into it we're probably not going to like.
Right.
So, yeah. Speaking of what we reviewed this week we looked at the Will Smith series, Welcome to Earth. It was National Geographic presented, where he goes around and it was told through the different senses. Like one was hearing, one was speed, sense of speed, one was, and each episode focused on one of those, including the last one, which focused on fear. And so that was it. I'm going to start with you, Pete. Was the show fresh and princely, or does Agent J need to neuralize it?
I think this was very fresh. I didn't know what I think. I do tend to like National Geographic shows, but I wasn't sure how this was going to be. I thought it was really interesting. I've only watched the first 2 episodes so far, but I really enjoyed. I think Will Smith has been fine in it. It's kind of interesting that he typically only does like one thing per episode, and then there's a couple of other similar topics. There are similar events, like they'll get into in the second episode. They were looking a lot at darkness and what you see in the dark and how light affects things. And so they would have other scenes they would show. And I just found it all very fascinating. And on top of that, I just have to say, beautiful, beautiful photography on it. We just got a new TV, so maybe that's part of it, but just very sharp, and especially the first episode, the scenes of the volcano eruptions, and then the women that were swimming with the sperm whales, just beautiful, beautiful photography. So I'm really enjoying the show. What about you, Sam?
I'm kind of neutral on this. It was not so I love Will Smith as the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, as Agent J. I love him as a lot of things. I love him as a rapper. I love him as an actor. But I didn't love him as a National Geographic host. I thought his energy was a little bit low. I was actually surprised. I felt like he can be a lot more animated, and I think could have been a lot more animated throughout the show. I found the show, parts of it interesting, parts of it boring. Visually, it was stunning, no question. Have to agree with you there. I did like some of the other people we got to meet, like in the first episode, meeting the man who had lost his sight as a teenager or preteen, and how he was this like adventure climber, and it was just kind of amazing hearing about him and his story. So I have to kind of say this is middle of the road for me. It's not a bad show, but it's not one that I'm going to go back and watch all of the other episodes. I will also say, though, this is not the kind of show I usually choose to watch. While I do like some documentaries, I'm not as big on them as, say, Kate is. And so it probably isn't something I would have chosen if not for us reviewing it on this show. Derek, what did you think?
If I had only watched a couple of episodes, I'd have a different reaction based on which episodes I watched. I actually did watch all 6 episodes. And having said that, it needs to be neuralized. There's only so much Will Smith can carry a show of nature pictures. And when he wasn't on screen, especially in the later episodes, it was both better and worse. The comment about how he didn't seem to always have the great energy, part of it is because he admitted several times he's scared of water, like terrified of water and swimming. He knows how to do it. He just doesn't like it. So that was some of his low-keyness, I think, was not Loki-ness, but low-keyness. As you said, visually it was stunning, but it wasn't that different from any of the other exploring nature National Geographic documentaries to me. I'm not sure why this really needed to be made, and I really know I don't need to see it again. Kate?
Yeah. I mean, I think I am one of the documentary buffs on this in this platoon. I do love a good documentary. This didn't hit for me. I found it very hard it didn't hold my attention well. And the thing is, like Sam said, I'm a huge Will Smith fan. I've loved him in Fresh Prince. I love Big Willie Style was one of the first albums I ever owned.
It's amazing.
I love him in The Pursuit of Happiness. Like, he is a brilliant actor. He is a brilliant musician, great comedian. I even love when he does the Red Table Talks with Jada and Willow and all of them. This just didn't hit for me.
There were forgetting Hitch. Hitch is like a masterpiece.
Oh, Hitch! Yeah, there were bits and pieces that I enjoyed. I will throw myself a little bit under the bus here, though. Nature documentaries don't tend to hold me as much as people documentaries. Does that kind of make sense? Nature documentaries, while I do love nature, it just doesn't hold me as well. I did find little bits like when they talked about sound, when they talked a lot about sound and the sound waves. I did find that fascinating. I loved in the first episode when they had the blind man with them when they went to the volcano, and they talked about how they heard their eardrums wobbling, and the blind man was like, I hear that all the time, and of course he does, because his hearing is so much more what's the word I want?
Tuned in.
Yeah, like it's so much stronger than other. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. There were bits and pieces that I liked, but as a whole, I won't watch it again, and I probably won't watch more episodes.
Okay. Ryan says he's no David Attenborough for sure. Yeah. Or is it Richard Attenborough or anyway?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
No, it's David Attenborough.
It was David.
Yeah, David.
Steve says he loves the photography. Wish some of the clips were longer. Wanted to know more about some stuff. Totally agree. It seemed, again, especially in some of the later episodes, it was really choppy. Vicky said she thought it would be better. Steve said he wanted more of the other people and less Will Smith.
I love Nick's comment here.
Yeah. How do you find Will Smith in the snow? Look for the Fresh Prince. Ha!
Ching.
Leave the jokes to me. Anyway, no. Who would you have enjoyed better as narrator? He says Ryan Reynolds. And guys, I'm going to throw that out there real quick. Who would you have enjoyed better as narrator?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh yes, he's done it. He's already done it, and
yeah,
and so has what's her face? Oh my god, from The Hills Are Alive.
Julie Andrews.
Julie Andrews, thank you. She's done some of the ones in the IMAX theaters, right? Those nature documentaries that they used to show. They should probably still do, but they used to show at the various IMAX theaters. Samuel Jackson's done one. Julie Andrews has done one. Like a ton of really famous people. Those would be really good.
Okay. Gina says Morgan Freeman as a potential.
Yeah.
To me, Liam Neeson would be good. I've seen a couple he's done, but it's one of those where just about anybody, again, you got to have that. You got to have the voice. If you're just going to do it as a voiceover, you got to have the voice. As an in-person, what about someone like Nathan Lane? Or
that would be fun.
Gilbert Godfrey.
No.
His voice is still too annoying.
Or Matthew Broderick. Or something.
Yeah.
Or pull some of the old again, as you said, Julie Andrews, pull some of the old Disney legends back in.
Okay, how about Matthew McConaughey?
I mean,
all right.
A lot of people watch it.
All right.
But it depends. Is he going to be taking off his shirt? Because he does in almost every movie. So
I do have to say, even though I'm very much enjoying the show and probably seems like the most amongst the four of us, I do think that his narration is probably the weakest part of it. That, as you say, it's the energy level is, I mean, he's doing it very even. And that's not what you expect from Will Smith, right? You expect a lot of energy.
Right.
And I think that's why it seems off a little bit. He was, my guess is he was directed to do it that way.
Or he's trying to take it too serious because he's like, this is a nature docuseries. I need to be like serious Will Smith,
right?
Instead of like, funny, charming, actor rapper guy.
Although I'll say in the one where he goes to see the wildebeest migration, to me that was his best episode because it was something he had looked for as a kid. Rebecca is joining us virtually. National Geographic documentaries are some of the best things we watched on Disney Plus. For someone with ADHD, hooked her right away because it kept things moving the whole way. Didn't stay too long on a certain topic and multiple different cultures or physical features. Okay.
Yeah, and that's something that I like too. That the main focus was on the thing that he was doing, but they also broke that up so that I don't think you had as much time to get bored by it. At least myself, I guess maybe some of the others did get bored anyways.
And see, I would have liked a deeper dive into one. I would have liked and I'm going to use where he goes under the ocean for the example. Show me more of what they saw under the ocean. Show me more of what they saw as they went up the side of that big cliff that they discovered. Show me more what they saw in the cave. I mean, show me more of that one thing to me personally. That would have made this a little bit more of an educational as compared to an entertainment. So, okay, now they went many different places. They went under the sea. They went to the waterfall that was in Soren. They went across the Serengeti. I mean, it was a whole mishmash of stereotypical Disney places. Where from the show would you like to explore? And Sam, I'm going to start with you.
Okay. So while the ocean interests me a lot, I'm a scaredy cat and I'll swim like near the shore. I will not go into the deep ocean and I will not like do any kind of scuba diving and, diving deep down in any water. So I'm going to have to pick the Serengeti. I would love to see the wildebeest migration. I would love to see just all the wildlife in that part of the world. I think that would be really cool. What about you, Derek?
See, I'm totally the other way. I want to go to the deep ocean. I've always been an ocean kid. Exploring more of it sounds amazing to me. anytime I can be in and around the ocean is always a good time. So get me some salt water in my veins. Okay. Kate?
Yeah, I love the ocean on a cruise ship and standing on the beach, but listen, I got actual anxiety when the people were snorkeling, but they were like going real deep with the fishies, and I was like, y'all are still holding your breath? What is it like that? Like gave me severe anxiety. Mine would be of all of them, mine would be the volcano. I don't want to go in the volcano, but I was kind of fascinated with them being so close and like hearing it, like having them hear it, and they kept monitoring the sound waves, and they kept saying, "Oh, I can feel it. I feel it before I hear it. I want to experience that." I think that would be cool. So, Pete.
Yeah, of the 2 episodes I saw, well, I'd like to go to that festival where they like blow themselves up. I know that sounds stupid, but I think that not that I want to participate in the event.
That was terrifying, by the way.
But but I think that I found that fascinating. It's like, why are you doing these crazy things? You know, I would want to be standing off on the side with earplugs or something like that. Yeah, and a drink. That would be good. Same thing with like running with the bulls. I don't want to run with the bulls, but I'd love watching other people get trampled by the bulls. So I think that's that would fascinate me. I want to head down to Mexico and watch them blow stuff up.
I can see that. Steve's with me under the ocean in a tiny capsule. Yeah, I absolutely. Plus, it's Will Smith. They're never really going to let anything bad happen to him. So, even to me, what got me on that one was, if he's so scared of the water, how is he scuba certified? Because in theory, he should have been scuba certified in order to go scuba diving in that cave. But then it's Will Smith and it's a celebrity, so who knows? So, as we always do for the series, going to do a pixie dust reading. Oh, Rebecca's going to chime in real quick. Stuck between the volcano and the ocean. Deep free diving sounds so peaceful, but I've always been fascinated with mountains and hiking. Okay. Awesome. So anyway, pixie dust ratings. We always rate series, movies, anything like this. We rate out of 5. As always, Kate, you're up first. What do we got?
I'm going to give it a 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I'll go to a 2.
Stick with your guns. Stick with your guns.
You can stick with your guns. Yeah.
It didn't hold my attention, and I wanted it to so bad. Vicky, you know what, Vicky? I'll take it. Vicky said a 1.5. I'll give it a 1.5. I love Will Smith. This just didn't do it for me. Pete.
0.5 right now.
How many 0.5, Pete? I think we've lost Pete. We'll come back to Pete. Sam, how about you?
Okay. I'm going to give it a 2. Yeah, 2. Derek?
Just because it was pretty to look at, a 2. So Rebecca's saying she's giving it a 4. Pete, I think you are back now. What was your rating? Something 0.5? Are we still missing Pete?
Yeah, he keeps freezing.
Yeah, he does keep freezing. So we're going to drop Pete down real quick and give Pete a chance to do a little bit of a reset. We'll get his rating here in just a little bit. Steve says a 2.5, maybe more or less after you watch more episodes. Honestly, Steve, it's probably going to go down. Okay, Pete says a 3.5.
Okay.
So yeah, he was by far the highest for us tonight. So,
Rebecca gave it a 4.
Yeah, Rebecca did give it a 4. Kate, I will say that's your lowest rating since Star Wars Halloween.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What did I rate Jane at?
You gave Jane. We actually don't have a pixie dust rating for Jane.
What did
we
I
would have
give
all
Own the
given it a
Room?
0.
What did I give Own the Room?
Own the Room. You gave Own the Room a 4.
What? I did?
Yes, you did not hate it until after.
I was the only one who did not like Own the Room at the time.
Yeah.
Oh, that must have been the wine. I must have been very generous that night. Wow,
Okay.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, which is why it's interesting to look back at some of these, and when we're gonna get a website up, guys, here in probably 2 or 3 weeks, just because it's being worked on. But it's we're gonna be able to look in and see what different people rated stuff from way in the past, and we'll may have an episode maybe for our 100th. We'll go back and see, okay, what pixie dust rating would you change? But we're not going to do that tonight. So, and it's, as Ryan says, Wine Kate is generous with her pixie dust. Ryan, you also have to remember that was back in last April. We've watched a ton of stuff since then, and our ratings have changed.
Yeah, it's easier to compare stuff after you have a bunch of stuff to kind of compare.
Yeah. So, Kate, I know you have not watched Boba Fett this week, so
I'm so sorry, everybody. I'm having trouble keeping up, so drop me down. Bye.
But we will bring in Gina.
Hi. Happy New Year.
Happy
New Year.
It's my year of the tiger. Anyway, I am ready to talk about Boba
We've got
Fett.
Book of Boba Fett 5. Mando is back.
Yes. So I'm ready to go. The best part of this episode was there was no Boba Fett. I hate to say that, but it's the truth. However, I really enjoyed this episode, and I want to say there's so much to say. We have the Darksaber. We have Bo-Katan coming back to fight to get her righteousness of Mandalore. We have the Forager who kicked him out of his guild. We have him making something for Grogu, so we're going to go see Grogu again. And then at the very end, we saw Fennec Shand. So, loving this episode. Worst part, best part, no Boba Fett. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. All right, Sam.
So, before I give my review, I'm going to tell Ryan what my shirt says, which it says, he protects, he attacks. He also takes naps. So I'm calling shenanigans on this entire episode. And I'm calling shenanigans on it because this is not a Boba Fett episode. This was a Mandalorian episode, right? So I'm with you, Gina. Episode was pretty good. I love that my man Grogu's coming back. Or as other people might call him Baby Yoda. I do not call him Baby Yoda. He's his own person, or his own youngling, I should say.
Yes.
But it was a good episode, but we literally saw not a single character. We heard Fennec Shand's voice at the end of the episode. We didn't even see her though. We just heard her voice.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we saw her.
Did we see her?
Yeah.
I was
1 second.
For 1 second. Okay. I didn't even notice her. I heard her voice. And I was like, wait, that's it? Like, we really didn't need an entire episode lead in to bringing Mando into the show. They could have brought him into the Boba Fett storyline much quicker. My thought is this was an excuse by the producers because they were like, oh, this show is doing really terribly. If I didn't know better, know that they probably filmed this a long time ago, I would have thought, oh, the show's really doing, like, people don't like this show. We better like rejigger things and bring Mando and Grogu back because everybody likes them. So just, put that episode out. So like I said, if I didn't know better about how TV shows had to be produced months in advance, I would think that. But yeah, it's shenanigans. It was not a Mandalorian episode.
It was Mandalorian episode.
Right. Mandalorian season 3, episode 1,
or season 2.5, episode 0. Right, whatever.
Right. Totally. Derek?
Yeah. This was a great first episode of Mando season 3. You guys may know I'm actually starting to watch Mandalorian, and we actually watched this week episode 5, which is the one where they hunt Fennec Shand, where we meet the mechanic that puts together the speeder, which for that is a bounty hunter ship. We're gonna go completely the other direction anyway.
That was a whole Anakin tie-in thing anyway.
Oh yeah, totally. As guys, this is my favorite episode so far because it was no Boba Fett.
It was not Boba Fett episode.
Which to me, it shows that the writing is totally different when Boba Fett is on screen on purpose because they're written by the same guy. I will say, I'm not convinced the bar owner is innocent. She's too famous of an actress.
I agree.
And has had too much to do with things. I think she's behind something coming up. For those of you who don't know, she was a star of Flashdance.
Jennifer Beals.
Which ask your parents.
Ask grandma.
I'm really kind of over this show so far. It's got 2 episodes left, and I'm really hoping there's not going to be a season 2. And I'll talk next week about what I want from the finale, but I've got a lot of probably unpopular ideas for what I think needs to happen to resume this in the finale.
I did say this. I did say this Boba Fett real quick to tie into that. This Boba Fett episode or this Boba Fett series is like a Rogue One. Where did it really need to be told? Did it really need to be a movie? Whatever. Anyway, go ahead, Pete.
I was going to say, forgot one thing. And okay, Pete, go ahead. Then I've got a question for everybody. So Pete, go ahead.
I was going to say, somebody let me talk. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
You're good.
Okay. All I could think about was that Jon Favreau is not really interested in Boba Fett. I don't know how he ended up making this show, but he's written all the episodes and they generally were not that great. Yeah, but why not just more Mandalorian? Right? This episode was up to the quality of The Mandalorian, in my view. I really enjoyed it. It was better than any of the other episodes. I think you said that. My comment is going to be about Amy Sedaris as the mechanic there on Tatooine. She is so funny. She's like the funniest thing. Yeah, I dated.
She's the best.
I dated Jawa. Yeah, I love that she spoke Jawa. We've never met a human that speaks Jawa before, but I guess if she dated one, she would need to.
She figured it out.
They're very furry.
I resemble that remark.
From our resident Jawa.
Yeah, no,
little tall. Are you tall? Too tall to be a Jawa? Anyway.
Yeah.
The only thing was like, the ship was neat, but yeah, it doesn't seem like a bounty hunter ship to me. It seems like it's a fighter, right? It's a fighter ship. So
I mean, how's he gonna keep his people in carbonite? I mean,
right? Yeah.
And I will admit, I have forgotten. Oh, remember my question. Okay, so he says at the end of the episode, before he helps Boba Fett, he needs to go visit a friend. Obviously, he's going to go see Grogu.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that do you think we see him again this season of this? Or do they make season 3 his trip to see Grogu between episodes 5 and 6?
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull a quick Grogu visit. They did. They did come out up front and say that this was going to be Mandalorian season 2.5. So I guess it. Maybe
I didn't know that. So apparently we're gonna see Grogu next week.
Yeah, well, I feel like if they're smart, they're just gonna give us more Mando and Grogu and stay far away from Boba and Tatooine for the last 2 episodes if they're smart.
And I'm still saying we're gonna see Han Solo before the end of this. Because
I'm hoping.
I mean, we're going to see someone from the original trilogy. But
there's been big rumors, So
yeah. As Ryan says, it says a lot about the show when the best episode doesn't include the main character. Totally agree.
So said the best one.
His other favorite part about the episode was the droid BD-1 from the video game.
Yes, that was
Jedi
awesome.
Fallen Order. I've played that game, and
that was awesome.
Yeah.
Nick says this
is a little two-legged one.
Yeah, didn't have any flashback or forwards, did it? A lot of linear forward motion, which helped my enjoyment. Again,
true.
It's the Mandalorian episode. It actually moves the plot forward.
Yeah.
So, and as he said,
it didn't move the Boba Fett plot forward, though. It moved the Mandalorian plot forward. Just to be clear, I want to be clear. It actually didn't move the Boba Fett plot forward.
But what I do like, go ahead. And I'll tell you.
I was like, did any of us really miss Boba Fett this episode?
No.
But I'm just saying, if we're talking about moving plot forward, it did, but it didn't, right? It moved a new Mandalorian plot forward, but it did not move the Boba Fett plot forward at all. We're basically exactly where we were the last episode.
But what I love that they did is they showed that little background of Amy Sedaris marching with her little Jawas, and then we got to see her working in the mechanic yard. I loved that. Anyway, that was great.
So next week, Gonna bring Kate back in for this next week, guys.
Feel the rhythm. Feel the rhyme. Get on up. It's bobsled time. Cool running.
We are visiting Cool Runnings. We've got the Winter Olympics starting Thursday. So, and Jamaica's got a bobsled team again.
Yay!
So we had to do Cool Runnings during the
Olympics.
Olympics.
A bobsled team.
Had to do it. So next week we've got trivia. We've got Cool Runnings. We're going to be talking Boba Fett episode 6. It is going to be, guys, I'm so looking forward to next week. It is going to be so much fun.
This is going to be a fun movie to talk about. Yeah.
Yes.
So, like, I can't stop smiling. I'm so excited
for me. I'm so excited.
And 2 John Candy movies in a row.
Yay.
Yeah.
So true.
And
I have to say what Vicky says.
Ryan, Feel the Rhythm, Feel the Ride. Guys, this is such a quotable movie. Anybody, basically our generation, can probably, there's so many quotable lines from this movie.
So good.
So many.
This is one. Tell your friends, bring in everybody else. The geeks should be back from the gathering. They should all be
Yes.
here. We're going to do trivia. It's going to be a Jamaican party.
Nice.
So,
Yeah.
So good.
with that being said,
We'll even
guys,
have some jerks.
hey, hey.
And if
Just
you
'cause I
need
don't-
some herbal libations and you live in a state where that's legal, that's okay too.
Go ahead.
The egg.
So, as you can tell, we're going to have a lot of fun next week. Please come on and join us. If you've got other suggestions, we are at plusplatoon@gmail.com. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, everything. So, yeah, everything.
YouTube.
We are also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple, Pocket Cast, Stitcher. Anywhere you can listen to us is great. Please then go on to Apple and give us those 5-star reviews, because that's how we get more people to come out and join the platoon. With that being said, guys, sadly, we have lost Sam, some technical issues. Nick, the new website soon. Give me about 3 weeks, because it's a name transfer going on, and we got to get that figured out. We got to get everything designed. So I'm saying definitely by the end of February, we will have a website. It's going to have the plus all the Pixie Dust ratings we've had so far. You're going to get to know a little bit more about who we are. You're going to get a little bit of background from us. You're going to get what's coming up, so you can kind of watch ahead and see where we're going to do, because we've actually got shows planned out well into March, even a few in April and May already planned. So with that being said, guys, had a lot of fun tonight. I think we're going to have even more fun next week, and we will see everybody then. So bye, guys.
Bye. Thanks for watching this week's episode of the Plus Platoon. Be sure to subscribe to the Plus Platoon podcast to keep getting great content each week. Then head over to Apple Podcast and leave those 5-star reviews, as they help make the Plus Platoon visible to even more Disney Plus fans. Also, go to YouTube and like and subscribe to the Plus Platoon channel, where you can watch all future episodes live. If you have a question for the Plus Platoon, please send us an email to plusplatoon@gmail.com, or connect with us on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram @PlusPlatoon.
The Plus Platoon is a Disney Plus fan podcast and is not affiliated with the Walt Disney Company or the Disney Plus streaming service. All opinions expressed on the show are solely those of the individual hosts and in no way reflect the views of the Walt Disney Company.
Thanks for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode, because the Plus Platoon is to be continued.